From fresh fish to fireworks, stunning coastlines and indigenous culture.
To street food and historic architecture, we're going to bring you some of Taiwan's best destinations. This is Taiwan Insider.
Welcome to the show. I'm in the mood for travel. How about you, Itamar?
Oh, you have no idea.
Well, you know, Taiwan is open up. There's no more quarantines and no more outdoor mask mandate. So we got a special show for you today. We're going to introduce some great destinations.
So now a lot of people are looking forward to the fireworks show in Taipei.
That's right.
But there's also an archipelago in Taiwan that is famous for its own fireworks festival and seafood.
Welcome to Penghu. There are many things about the archipelago that have attracted visitors from all over the world. Penghu is made up of 90 small islands, which means there are plenty of beaches and opportunities for water sports like kayaking and paddleboarding. Scuba diving and snorkeling also allow people to get a better glimpse of Penghu's vibrant marine life, which includes sea turtles, a wide variety of fish, coral, and even dolphins. Another major attraction is the Penghu International Fireworks Festival, which started as an annual tradition in 2003. The festival is famous for its music and dance performances, drone light shows, and of course, fireworks. Penghu's cuisine is well known for its fresh seafood. There's a kind of small squid called xiaoguan that is famous in Penghu because people often use it to make soup or savory sauces. There are even little expeditions where visitors can try fishing for the squids themselves. Once out at sea, the boat emits a green light that attracts the squids so that people can try to reel one in, although that's no easy task. However, this island paradise is in danger. Large amounts of trash wash up on the beaches every day, polluting both the land and sea. Some schools arrange for students to help pick up all the debris. One of the teachers says the students keep track of the plastic bottle's country of origin and that about 70% of the trash comes over from China. Still, there's plenty of work Taiwan can do to help reduce global warming and pollution on its own end. Due to the pandemic, Penghu has suffered from waves of over-tourism, followed by drastic drops in the number of visitors, depending on Taiwan's outbreak control. Still, as life begins returning to normal, there is also the hope that visitors from near and far can go explore this beautiful archipelago while respecting its wildlife and natural environment.
If you're visiting Taiwan, you might want to visit, or if you're lucky, even stay at Taiwan's first 5-star hotel, the iconic Grand Hotel.
Welcome to the Grand Hotel, Taiwan's very first 5-star hotel. The Grand Hotel sits on Yuanshan Mountain and overlooks the Keelung River in Taipei, where it was built in 1952. The hotel's construction was groundbreaking for Taiwan in many ways. When it was built, it was the tallest building in Taiwan. The wife of President Chiang Kai-shek, Song Mei-ling, commissioned the Grand Hotel after the Kuomintang fled from China to Taiwan. At the time, there were no 5-star hotels to host foreign officials. Once the hotel was completed, the foreign politicians came pouring in, later including guests like Dwight Eisenhower, Nelson Mandela, and Margaret Thatcher. By the 1970s, the Grand Hotel was already famous internationally, after Fortune magazine named it in the top 10 hotels in the world in 1967. The Grand Hotel also goes by the name Dragon Palace, and for good reason. There are around 220,000 dragon images and statues spread throughout the hotel, although no one has been able to track the exact amount. One of the special details hidden within the hotel is an escape tunnel, with both a slide and stairway for a secret evacuation. The Grand Hotel staff say that the tunnel was built so that high-ranking officials could quickly escape in case of an attack or natural disaster. While the Grand Hotel may not be the tallest building in Taiwan anymore, it's still trying to keep up with the times. Recently, the hotel launched a project to restore some of the older wooden furniture so that young Taiwanese designers can give them a more contemporary look. Booking a room at the Grand Hotel comes at a grand price, but the hotel is also open to tourists who want to learn more about the building's history and taste its fine cuisine.
Damar, have you been to the East Coast?
Yes, actually, I was just there a couple weekends ago.
Really? I'm jealous. Well, because it's one of the most stunning places in Taiwan. It has a breathtaking coastline, and it's a great place to discover indigenous culture.
In 1544, Portuguese sailors passed by Taiwan and called it Ilha Formosa, the beautiful island. Long before the Europeans, Japanese, or Chinese came to the island, the indigenous people have called Taiwan their home. Taiwan's government officially recognizes 16 indigenous groups, but there are many more that self-identify as separate and unique peoples. 100 years ago, most of Taiwan's indigenous groups lived in the central mountains, on the east coast, and in the south. However, nowadays nearly half of the indigenous population lives in the urban areas of the country. Over the centuries, indigenous communities in rural areas have dwindled as many young people leave to pursue opportunities in the big cities. But in recent years, there's been a movement for people to reconnect with their indigenous roots and return to the places where their families are from. This has created an intriguing fusion of urban Taiwanese culture and rural indigenous traditions. Chen Zhiyi, a man of mixed indigenous heritage, returned to his village with his wife and children after his father's death. When he went through his father's belongings, he found traditional fishing tools, photos, and woven crafts that all illustrated his people's history. These precious pieces are now part of the Olang Museum, which features DIY classes for visitors to try making some tools themselves. Though in recent years, Taiwan has seen a growing public interest in indigenous culture, many indigenous groups say they feel overlooked and undervalued by the Taiwan government and general public. Some say when new visitors venture into their communities, they just take a few photos and leave without taking time to get a deeper understanding and appreciation for their culture. So, how can people learn more about indigenous people and their culture? One way people can make a deeper connection is by learning from indigenous people firsthand. Today, indigenous communities in Taiwan host activities and classes related to camping, cooking, music, tool making, and hunting, led by indigenous instructors. Through them, rural communities are giving non-indigenous Taiwanese a closer look at traditional indigenous culture. One of these indigenous guides is a man named Liu Zhenchang, who leads classes and explorations on his people's land. Some research suggests that Austronesian people like Liu have been living in Taiwan for over 6,000 years, so the land is closely connected with the indigenous group's development and history. Here we have Niushan, or Cow Mountain. Liu says he's been coming up the mountain with his family ever since he was a little boy. In that time, the herd has expanded from less than 20 cattle to almost 100. Another guide, Chen Jianlong, tells visitors that he does not bring groups to Niushan frequently because it could disturb the cattle in their natural environment. Chen says it's important for people to live in harmony with the animals around them. Hosting classes and activities is also a way for indigenous people to provide a stable income and home for their families. Since the 1600s, many different countries have colonized Taiwan and oppressed its indigenous people. Today, most of Taiwan's indigenous people remain below the poverty line. Their household incomes are 40% lower than the national average. On top of that, these indigenous groups must also reckon with powerful and dangerous natural forces. Taiwan's east coast is home to many indigenous peoples and is usually hit the hardest by natural disasters. These include typhoons, landslides, and earthquakes that further threaten the stability of these villages. These indigenous instructors have made a long-term commitment to keep their people's vibrant history and culture alive in their communities and beyond.
Taiwan is famous for its street food. One of the best places to try this is at this traditional market. Our intern, Rebecca, took her friends to the market's temporary location while the new location is still under construction. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Rebecca and I'm here with Radio Taiwan International. I'm studying in Taipei this year and I really want to get a sense of what daily life in Taiwan is like. So today I brought my friends with me here to Nanmen Market. Whenever I mention traditional markets, this is always the first one that my Taiwanese friends recommend to me.
Nanmen Market is over 100 years old, making it the oldest traditional market in Taipei. Before the Lunar New Year, people come to Nanmen Market to stock up on ingredients, snacks, and decorations. A lot of Taiwanese families trace their roots back to China and still enjoy the local cuisine from their home province. Nanmen Market is famous for offering lots of regional foods, especially from Shanghai and Fuzhou. So even if you've already spent a lot of time in Taiwan, you'll find a lot of new dishes to try here. The first place we had to visit was the Hexing Songgao stall. Songgao is a Shanghainese snack made from rice flour, sugar and red beans. Hexing's Songgao are particularly famous because they were a personal favourite of Song Meiling, Chiang Kai-shek's wife. Like many of the stalls here, it is a family enterprise. The owner explained to me that they are now into their 4th generation. Next, I decided to put my friends' Chinese abilities to the test and challenge them to find one of Nanmen Market's most unique snacks.
So I have a little challenge for you. When you come to Nanmen Market, one of the main things you're meant to get has got like a very special name, which other people find quite funny. But I want you guys to go and find it. The first person to find it gets for free, the other person has to pay. So the stakes are high. So you are looking for 心太软. 心太软. It means like my heart is too weak or my heart is too soft. Go!
不好意思，我听说过心太软，很值得吃。这里有，我要2个。
Can you guess what they are?
So they're jujubes, and we think it might have some kind of rice filling in it.
Ah, failed.
I was distracted by all the stuff.
Right, we need to go try them now. Yes. We need to go try them. Let's find a spot.
We headed upstairs to check out the food court and try some of the snacks that we had bought.
First of all, we're going to try the Xin Chai Ran, which I managed to find first before Marigold, because she got distracted. Surprisingly good.
I really like it. It's so nice. Yeah, it's chewy. It's like chewy in the middle, and then the outside.
The outside is a little bit crispy because of the jujube.
Yeah.
So next we're going to try the songgao, which was one of Song Meiling's favourite desserts. And we have a black sesame and a red bean. They all have red beans in them, but the flavouring is what the rice is flavoured with. So Marigold, which one do you want to try?
I might try the red bean one if that's all right.
I think red bean was also Song Meiling's favourite flavour, so I think we should try that one too.
It's a bit drier than I was expecting on the outside, but then like the red bean in the middle kind of balances it quite nicely.
A lot of Taiwanese desserts are like not that sweet, and that definitely fits this trend, but the filling is then sweeter, so you get a little bit of sugar in the middle.
We immediately had our eyes on the douhua stand, since my friends had never tried it before. Douhua is a sweet dessert made from soft tofu and sweet toppings. We went with the original, which is brown sugar and syrup.
I'm really liking all of the desserts. I don't know. I feel like it's a good balance because it's not too sweet with the brown sugar, but then the tofu is like kind of light.
We had a great time visiting Nanmen Market today.
Taiwan is constantly reinventing itself, and one place you can really see this is at the Kaohsiung Harbor.
Yeah, the old industrial port is now a place of stunning architecture.
This is Kaohsiung's Great Harbor Bridge, one of 2 striking new developments beside the waterfront along with the Kaohsiung Music Center. RTI's Carl Thielen has this report.
This is a beautifully sculptural bridge, but that's not the most interesting thing about it. It pivots 90 degrees to let boats pass. I met up this afternoon with Goran Wong, one member of the team of designers, architects, and mechanical engineers who created this bridge.
Some people say it looks like a sailing boat, and some people say it looks like whale or dolphin. I think it's great because everyone has his own imagination, but it's all about the ocean, it's all about the harbor. And actually we use the material FRP, which is used on the body of yacht. We use it to create the canopy of the bridge. It's like a real yacht, but looks like a bridge. It's just like a boat. You can stay on the deck and you can relax. You can feel the wind. You can see the view. You can chat on the deck with your friend. And there are shades. You know that the environment is so hot in Kaohsiung, so you need some space like be shaded. Then you can stay on the shade and feel comfortable. This old harbor is now transforming into some area which is more recreational. This is the new life for the old harbor. In the old time, the Kaohsiung harbor is mostly for the industry, and now it's for our culture, it's for our art.
Do you have a favorite artwork from the area?
There is a new installation called 大港回声. We can translate it into Megaport Echo. It's an interactive sound installation. They put lots of bells on the crane, and you can play keyboard under the crane and the bells will ring. It also creates shade for the environment. If the 大港桥 is a show of movement, it is a ballet show, and the 大港回声 is a show of sound. It creates a sound experience, create different sound experience for the harbor. In the harbor area, you can see something and you can listen to something. And for other artists, they create something for you to touch.
Tell us a little bit about the Kaohsiung Music Center.
I think the Kaohsiung Music Center plays a very important role for another beginning, the connection between Aihe and the Kaohsiung Harbor.
So Aihe is the
Love River,
yeah.
Right? Back to 1990s, there are lots of walls that separating the city and the harbor. So when I was young, I have little memory about the harbor. In 2005, the city government started to remove those walls, and then citizens could go to the harbor and start to know the city in different view. If you open the space, but you don't have proper activities, that space will die. The music center, it brings the music activity into that very special space. I think it's very good. And it's a very successful, iconic architecture for the harbor. It looks like coral. Yeah, it's all about the sea and the harbor.
Welcome back. So, I have a question for all of you. Taiwan, as we know, is an amazing country. So many beautiful places. What is your favorite place in Taiwan?
Me? Well, I'm going to introduce, 推荐, recommend 小琉球 because that little island is full of sea turtles swimming around and you can swim with them so easily. I mean, it's one of the best experiences in the world, swimming with sea turtles.
Have you guys been?
I've done that.
Oh.
My whole family. It's so nice. They're just like swimming around you. You can't touch them.
Oh, wow.
But you can see them.
They don't let you touch them.
No, you're not allowed to touch them. But they'll take you out. It's very easy. They have coaches and they'll take you there and they'll take your picture throughout the entire experience, underwater and everything. So it's just so cool.
Have you been? I haven't been.
No, you guys gotta go.
How do you
Let's
travel
do it
there?
together, huh?
How do you travel?
There's a boat that takes you from Kaohsiung.
Yeah, if you go to the port in Kaohsiung, I forgot what port, Donggang, I think, and then there's a ferry.
Yeah.
And then you just book a B&B or whatever, and they will have like tour groups. Like you just call a coach or ask the hotel call coach. They will take you. They'll take care of everything. I mean, you don't have to buy any, the wear. They give you, what you need to wear, and they teach you how to do everything, and they take you to the spots where there's a lot of sea turtles, and there's other fish too. It's really beautiful.
Wow.
Very safe.
We have to go.
And it's like tropical. It's amazing. The climate is totally different from here in, sad, rainy Taipei.
It's so beautiful. We gotta go. Very nice.
How about you?
Well, I chose Yilio.
That's pretty close.
Yes.
Yeah, so northern part of Taipei. So they have amazing geological formations from the wind and the rain, and it just creates really beautiful structures like the Queen's Head.
Right.
So
catch her while she's there, right?
her neck is thinning down. They did find a replacement for her. It's the Princess's Head. I don't know if you know, but it's within the park.
No.
Oh, we gotta check it out.
So most people would visit the Princess's Head now, but you can still visit the Queen's Head. I think they just put a little necklace around her neck just to protect her head from falling.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Do you think that's a nice place to go to, like, year-round?
I would say, yeah.
Okay.
I would say any place where you go with the people you love is a great place in Taiwan.
Natural scenery. I mean, can't beat that, right?
Yeah. All right, well, my answer is Hualien, of course,
Oh,
as I said
yeah,
earlier,
beautiful.
Hualien is in the central part of the East Coast. It is beautiful, really high mountains. Taroko Gorge National Park is there. And it's just like really a unique place. I feel like every time I go, it's like a different country, right? Just the culture is very different. Of course, there are many like different indigenous groups that live in the area, which definitely has an influence. But it's just more rural, and when you go there, you really feel like, you know, a lot of times people say Hawaii is like, I'm sorry, they say like Taiwan is like Hawaii. And I don't feel it when I live in Taipei because it rains all the time and it's cold in the winter. But when I go there, I really do feel it. When I go to Hualien, you see just like the fields of rice and the big mountains in the background and like palm trees. You're like, super nice.
Yeah. And the coastline.
Didn't you say you saw monkeys last time?
Yeah, I did. I did. So that's added plus.
It's a plus.
Very nice. Well, thanks for tuning in to Taiwan Insider. We hope you check out one of those destinations sometime. I'm Natalie So.
And I'm Idmar Waxman.
And I'm Brendan Wong.
Have a happy new year as well. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.